Hello there, and welcome to Critical Thinking. That your writing must demonstrate your understanding of the significance of an argument or perspective, the relevance of evidence, and the strength of conclusions made. How to approach the question? You can approach the question by checking the notes that accompany the question in assignment booklet, splitting the question into bite-sized chunks, divided, looking closely at the process words in the assignment title, allowing some time to plan before you start writing and then some time to review what you have written afterwards. Making sure that you keep to the question set by referring back to it as you write. This is how you approach the question. Reading the question critically. When you read a question, you have to think it critically. If the question asks you to evaluate, assess, defend, support, you will need to prepare a reasoned judgment based on your analysis. If the question asks you to apply, demonstrate, illustrate, interpret, solve, you will need to apply the subject to a given situation. Give example. If the question asks you to develop, formulate, arrange, you are expected to combine the material with other material you read in the course. If the question asks you to compare, contrast, discriminate, distinguish, examine, you will need to analyze the argument. If it asks you to define, list, name, order, you will need to identify the content. Using structuring devices in your writing. In addition to structuring your assignment as an essay style or report style assignment, you must convey the overall logic or progression of your argument. This will demonstrate the critical thinking that underlies your assignment. As you gain experience, you will find your own favorite writing patterns. In the meantime, here are some suggested ways of structuring your writing. Use context and examples. Use themes, link, and signpost. Let's see critical thinking and writing. Examine how and where critical thinking might support your answer and any arguments you present. If you have drawn conclusions or identified implications, consider whether these should be included. Remember to think your ideas to evidence and ensure the warrant is justifiable. If you draw inferences from someone else's argument, you will need to provide logical reasoning to back up your extrapolation. Once you have a first draft of your assignment, then ask yourself whether there is enough evidence to support your claims. Do you need to rethink or tone down your argument with more objective language? This is important because in critical thinking, you have to use objective language, not subjective language. Objective, it means you do not consider yourself as the main source. So in order to be objective, you don't say I or we. We use pronoun such as one or words such as one can. Or the study explains or shows that, or the paper or the article. In objective language, you do not talk about yourself. Do you need to refute or rebut any objections to your argument? Less is more. Use your critical thinking skills to select the most appropriate content rather than putting in everything you have read on the topic. Critical thinking and working with others. This is very important because those who have critical thinking have teamwork skills. Acknowledge another person's view before going on to challenge it. Be constructive in your challenge rather than simply dismissing another point of view. Because some people do not know how to cooperate in a teamwork. They argue, they fail. In order to succeed in teamwork, you have to be or you have to use critical thinking. Reflect on what you consider to be the strength of another person's argument. Take the strength of another person's argument. Stimulate others. Do not insult others. And whether you run the risk of being inadvertently offensive before you speak. Do not be offensive. Thank you for your listening. Goodbye.